Hey everybody, Pat Gill from P-Snap Studios. Today we're going to be going over the essentials for recording drums. I got Sam Gilbert, local Portland musician, up today, and he's going to be helping us out. Sam?
Oh, thanks for having me up here, P-Snap. We're just going to go over some of the essentials of things like what drums I'm using, cymbals, heads we're using, microphones, mic placements, and then at the end we're going to put it all together into a track that you guys can listen to. So without further ado, let's get into it. What we've got here is the Thomas Star Classic Performer Birch Bubinga series drum set in Egyptian Nightburst finish. The sizes are 12 by 9, 14 by 14, and 20 by 18. It's a very beautiful sounding kit. And if we go over here, you'll see we've got the PDP Concept Series Maple Snare Drum by DW. It's a very beautiful sounding snare drum. It really sounds warm in the studio, which is why I love it. Going over here, you'll see we have an assortment of Zildjian cymbals. I prefer Zildjian. I think they sound the best. All their lines do, from the A's to the K's, and even the old Z lines. What we've got over here is the 14-inch New Beat hi-hats, classic sound. We've got the brand new 18-inch K Sweet Crash. And we go over this way. I've got the 21-inch A Zildjian Sweet Ride. Really good crash ride. I like to use it for both options. And lastly, for cymbals, we've got the 18-inch K Dark Medium Thin Crash. For drum heads, we use an assortment of Remo heads. I think Remo's the best sounding heads. What you've seen is Emperors on the toms and the P77 on the snare beforehand, as well as the new Power Stroke 3 with a black dot. That sounds really good. It's got a focus tone to it I really enjoy. For microphones, we're using the Shure SM57s for the toms. You can see right there, as well as the snare drum and the hi-hat. When we go over to overheads, you'll see we have these beautiful Audix F15s. They sound really nice. They capture the sound of the room very, very well. And if you'll follow me, we've got on the kick drum, kind of an old reliable. Now, I only know people who use this, and they say it's the best. It's the Shure Beta 52. It kind of is the quintessential kick drum sound, I think.
Everything gets plugged into a CBI 12-channel Snake. From there, we bring it back to a Tascam USB 1641, has 8 XLRs and 2 1/4-inch inputs. Underneath it, you can see an ART headphone amp. From the Tascam, we go out via USB into the computer. We're running Cubase Artist 9 as our DAW.
All right, now that we've gone over what gear we're using, let's get into some mic placement then. The philosophy that we use for mic placement here is pretty straightforward. I've seen some people, like to have the mic right up on the drum. Some people like to have it really far away from the drum. I like to have a nice mix of both worlds. I like to have it kind of off the drum a little bit without kind of choking the sound out. So usually for the snare drum, for example, what I'll do is place the microphone right towards the rim, right on the rim of the snare. And what that does is when you strike the drum, it gives the drum a little room to breathe. It also picks up a little bit more of the metallic sounds coming off of the rim. So you get kind of a nice best of both worlds, full drum sound in from your snare. When it comes to toms, kind of a similar philosophy. Like to keep them off the drum a bit and let them sing out a little bit so the room will pick it up so it gets a nice full warm tone. For cymbal mics, the only mic we'll definitely or the only cymbal rather, we'll mic up is the hi-hat, just so that kind of cuts through a little bit. Because if you have just overheads, the hi-hats tend to get kind of lost in the wash of things. And for overheads, we usually keep them equally distant from each other and equal in height. And what that does is just creates like a nice even tone. Because if you have one mic that's a little higher than another, it kind of creates some sonic discrepancies. And as for the kick drum, pretty straightforward. We just kind of throw the microphone in there. So what we'll do is you'll put it like the rim of the microphone to the porthole of the head. So it's picking up the sound of it. And that's basically our mic philosophies here at PSnap Studios.